there I was, looking back at the progress I'd made, and I felt just a sense of calm, pride. I could see all the progress, and I just felt so very content. Have you finished work, or you've got some free time, or you're at the weekend, and it's like you don't exactly know what to do or what you could be doing, or perhaps you're watching a movie, you're doing something, but you're or playing a video game, or you're laying up awake at night thinking there is something else I could be doing, or I feel like I'm not fully contributing myself or offering the fullest of myself to the world. Well, then this is the video for you. So if you join me today, I'm going to share with you how it really only takes 1 hour a night, or 1 hour, to start turning things around and start having a transformative effect on your life, such that when you look back in 3 to 6 months or even 12 months, you'll have realized the progress that you have made, and you'll feel so incredibly proud at the transformation that you have undertaken. See, the premise for this idea came from this book, The Way of the Superior Man, right? Which is a fantastic read. Go and get it, right? I've read this many times, and it's always a good book to come back to. I can't remember exactly where in the book, a bit embarrassing, but in the book, it talks about how you as a man need to spend 1 hour a day doing something that you're really passionate about and that you really feel is your purpose. And that's the thing, purpose, right? What does that mean? Now, I will try to explain this in terms of what this represents and kind of why it's important. Now, see, the thing is, if you're like me and you played quite a lot of video games back in the day, I played stuff like Pokemon, Skyrim, Final Fantasy, Persona, Legend of Zelda. Let's start with Skyrim, right? So in Skyrim, we know that, or in the game, you have what's known as like the main quest, the main mission, as soon as you start the game, right? So we know in that game that wherever you look with your character, because it's first person, you can see what direction you have to head in, how far away it is, and what the mission itself is. This is the main mission, right? We know it takes, I think from memory, I checked it out, to finish just the main story of Skyrim alone, it takes about 39 hours. And so doing missions on this main quest, as you will grant you the most experience you can get, and associated money benefits and everything, which is kind of what we're trying to get at for our own lives. We're trying to take you from feeling like you're just lost, unsure, you feel like a side character, and you wish kind of you were the main character, and then the camera's positioned on you. Well, this is what this is, right? This is what we're trying to get you to think about. See, also in this game, there's also side quest, in which if you do side quests, you also gain other types of experience as well. Might not be as much, but it's still beneficial to what you're trying to achieve, to level up your character. In the same way, that's what we're trying to achieve for you, right? So in those scenarios or that game, it's actually quite clear where you have to go and what you have to do, because it tells you when you pull up the main menu. But if we compare that to another type of game, say for example, another type of game being, had it in my mind, another type of game being The Legend of Zelda, right? In The Legend of Zelda, of course there's a tutorial level, but we know the main quest is to rescue Zelda the princess and stop the evil Ganondorf, right? But aside from that, the main quest isn't really necessarily as clear, and there's kind of not the directional marker even telling you how many meters away, and like if you stop the menu, it tells you you have to do this. There are prompts in the game of what you have to do, but it's more exploration in nature. And I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to get you to think about as well. So you won't always be clear what you have to do or what your main purpose is, but by, in the sense, exploring and going out in this world with a sense of adventure will help you to understand, or doing lots of things or different things, trying what you like, will help you to understand what that could be, right? Like, for example, you might have a strong sense of wanting to like learn an instrument, like, I don't know, piano. So, you know, that would be, say, your purpose, or you want to learn to play tennis or something, or you want to go to the gym, or you want to read 50 books in a year. Like, these things are the things that you'll need to try and experiment with to understand where that is. And if you kind of feel that you do something and you don't super duper love it, what I think that serves as is like doing a side quest. You'll still obtain the experience, so you shouldn't be worried about not particularly liking it, because there's lots of stuff I've done when I was younger that I thought I wanted to do in the future. Like, I wanted like to play table tennis. I thought I could be really good at that. I thought I could be a soccer player when I was really young. I thought I could become like a professional yo-yo player. Like, there's so many different aspects and elements that you need to truly try it for yourself, right? And to make you think of the video games, in a sense, is what we're trying to get at. And I guess through having that time and that 1 hour a night to think about what to actually, you know, go towards, you'll eventually start to build confidence and find the right way forward. See, the thing is, if you say, remember playing Pokemon, right? In Pokemon, we know that like you get a starter and there's lots of wild Pokemon near the area, you battle them, you get stronger, so on and so forth. But if you say stay in the starting area for long enough and really overlevel your main starter, you can kind of breeze through most of the game. And one of my friends kind of did this as his strategy when playing it. So in a similar sense, if you're going about building this experience of kind of like 1 hour a night and reading and journaling and reflecting to figure out what you're passionate about, you'll eventually come to a point where you'll stack so much experience and ways to do things. You'll kind of instinctively know exactly where to go to for your main quest, and it will just be so much easier to do that because you've had the idea or concept to focus on something, which will make realizing something that you actually feel is the correct or the right purpose for you at that point in time so much more easier. So for example, for me, when I was at the time writing, you know, the ebook life cycles, and that was very important to me. But then of course, when I finished that, I had to figure out the marketing, and I didn't really feel inspired to do that. But by having the discipline and the practice to do so, made it easier to do that. And then of course, coming over to here where I've like created like content in YouTube and had, hopefully by the time this video gets posted, about 40 videos up, I've kind of built that discipline in telling stories and inspiring you, because I kind of thought back to when I was younger and I didn't really have a lot of people or someone that I, you know, looked up to as much to kind of make it easier to say, hey, Salvatore, you should be doing this instead of playing video games or watching anime, or, you know what I mean? Like, if you could just develop, you know, spend 1 hour a night doing this, it will eventually compound and you'll start to really build that confidence in yourself, right? That's kind of like what I want to share with you. I see you as someone that has that potential to turn things around. And it really is as simple as simply 1 hour a night to change this for the better, right? Because the thing is, 1 hour a night will eventually lead to a bit more than 1 hour, and then 1 hour a night every night, you know. And then also you might find that on weekends when someone's like, hey, why don't you come out with us to go party? And you're like, well, not really, because I like want to do my hour of night, and then I want to chill because I like relaxing after my work and reflecting, and then I like getting up early and then doing my thing again, or going for a run or going for a bike ride. So like that is all going to get eaten up if I go out, and I'd much rather kind of do my main mission. See, that's the thing, by having that in place, you're more in control of your life, opposed to kind of saying, oh yeah, I'll do that, I'll do this, like that sounds fun, oh yeah, I suppose I could do that. But if you kind of, because you kind of think in your head, oh, there's something I could be doing, but I'm not sure what that is. But by actualizing that and having discipline to do so, it makes it so much easier to kind of be like, no, actually, I'd like to do this, and this is something I'm passionate about. And of course, if those are, are good friends, I respect what you're doing. I mean, otherwise they might kind of say something else. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that I believe in you and that you need to do that for yourself because it's so much more rewarding and you deserve that. You don't have to follow what other people say or go out just because they're going out. Like you need to look after you and you need to set that time aside for yourself because at the end of the day, you are the one that cares most about yourself, right? No one else is going to look out for you in the future, so you need to set that up and you need to be disciplined, right? But it all starts, of course, from doing 1 hour a night, conquering those small mountains, in a sense, conquering the tutorial level in the game so that when you build enough confidence and experience and you kind of actualize, what you're good at, you're able to just kind of go into the game or the main story and just breeze through it. And of course, there might be times where your path is as clear as in the game of Skyrim when it tells you what your next main mission is, right? But then other times there might be like in more open world game like Pokemon or Legend of Zelda or even Mario, like well, Mario's not a good example because you just have to collect the stars, but the method of which you have to do to collect stars for various, whatchamacallit, sometimes it's a bit nuanced, you have to figure it out yourself. But point being, it changes and you need to accept that that's okay. And by reflecting and thinking about that, we allow ourselves to see how that's shifting and like what we like about that shift, to figure out more about who we are as people and what we enjoy doing and what makes us feel accomplished. Because by doing this is a much better alternative than to, again, like I said, playing video games, watching anime and movies and TV every night. But if you look back at what you've done or put in 1 hour a night after 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you'd be like, holy crap, I did all that just by simply starting with that. And that's what I want to impress upon you. Now, if you're kind of having trouble starting this or not sure exactly how to start doing the 1 hour a night, I've done another video where I talk about, entering round 2. It's like getting in a flow state, how to set yourself up for it. So this is kind of like either the successor or prequel to that, where it's kind of like, okay, this is what we need to do, and here's kind of like a great way to do it. That's kind of what I'm trying to impress upon you. So I'm just going to check one more thing, see if there's anything else needed to cover in this video. Sorry. So I guess to kind of round out my point about the comparison or like a video game, right? I've mentioned that Skyrim takes about 40 hours to complete. If you kind of do the side quests, that can take even longer. Same thing with the Final Fantasy games, which I used to love playing. Main story is about 35 to 45 hours. And then additional side contents, maybe anywhere between maybe another 40 hours. So that's kind of like a lot of hour time sink. But if we kind of think about that and putting it towards something else, it can be so much more purposeful and actualized. Like for example, say it takes 10 hours to read a book, you could read 8 books in that time, and then compare that to like what I did, say the ebook that took, I don't know, 50 hours to do or something, right? Like it's like a whole video game, but at the end of that video game, like cool, I finished it, I completed it, whatever, but like you're like, well, what's the next game? I'm bored now. But the thing is, when you put this time into something like this and you can tangibly see it or feel the results, like for example, you go to the gym like 50 times, it's 50 hours, right? You'll see the results, right? They're real. You can walk away with that, seeing how your physique's improved, right? That's kind of like what I'm trying to get at, whereas the alternative is very misleading. But to do what I'm saying in terms of 1 hour a night is to build to something greater. And that's kind of what will help you not toss and turn at night, or you'll think of ideas just outside of this 1 hour, and you'll start to see how your body and your mind will really help you towards that goal. And it just becomes so magical because you've got that momentum and you're just going forward, right? So to help with that, like I said, please watch the other video where I talk about how to get to round 2. Subscribe for more content like this where I explain tips and tricks. If you want more help individually, one-on-one, I do a coaching call offer where you can submit a time that works for you, initial questions, I'll answer them, and then we can hop on a call and discuss that. It gives you more accountability. It means you're more likely to do something as there's like a cost investment. And then it kind of empowers me to help get the best out of yourself, to really feel that you've got that value, right, from the session. And alternatively, if you're looking to get into something big like a main quest of fitness and sport, well, I would say Life Cycles is a product that I strongly stand behind because I've created it, right? It's how to commute to work, commute to university, use commuting as a form of fitness, lifestyle transformation, but then everything else, every single question, insecurity, issue you could have, I've answered in the ebook, right? So it's got incredible value. It steps you through, it saves you time, money, because there's no point trying something, like I said, and it's like in the game that you don't know where to go. But in this, I've kind of stepped it out, like all the quest, all the side quests, everything's explained, right? So you can see, okay, this goes to that, and then here's how to do like my routine and everything gets set up. Like that's what I'm trying to get at, and like that's what I've already crystallized for you. So if you kind of want a way to have fantastic weight loss or fitness and build incredible fitness, click the link below and you've got Life Cycles in there, and the link for the coaching is also in the description below. But otherwise, thank you for listening. 1 hour a night, a day, on the weekend can start to change your life for the better, because you are conquering mountains and you are conquering life. Thank you.